confirm, Carl, that we are quorate?
We are, Chair.
Thank you for that. We've all previously had the agenda. I'll just open the agenda that's as printed. Just a couple of open remarks from me. Carl, as you will be aware, some of you, is actually retiring from the Combined Authority, and I want to personally thank him for the support he's given to this committee over quite a long period of time. Always got the papers out on time and always been there with the relevant advice with regard to our status when we open the meetings. So thanks from me, Carl. I'm sure that's reflected by all the other members.
Indeed.
I just also want to say, in the public section, this is the last meeting of the investment board that we have scheduled. Obviously, the next mayoral Combined Authority will obviously re-establish this board, I believe. I want to thank everyone for the time that they've put into delivering what we've delivered with the board. I think the SQW report indicates quite clearly that we have made an impact on a regional basis with regard to the investments that we've made. And if people take the time to read some of the dashboards that are produced with some of the funds that we actually administer, you will see we've created a large number of jobs, remediated a large amount of brownfield land, and actually delivered a large number of houses and skills opportunities. So my personal thanks to you all. We have been together for quite some time. It is the last meeting, so I just wanted to put that on record today. So thank you for that. I'll then move to apologies. Carl, can you advise me on any apologies, please?
Yes, Chair. Apologies from Councillor Wazim Ali from Sandwell and from Julia Goldsworthy at the Combined Authority, Matthew Hammond and Roger Mendonca at the Growth Company, Richard Moon from Coventry City and Richard Lawrence from Wolverhampton.
Thank you. I've got Councillor Bird's hand up on the screen. Councillor Bird.
Thanks, Bob. Obviously, we all wish Carl well as he moves on to a new life in retirement. But I think it's right and proper to say thanks for your chairmanship of this committee, because you've done it without partisan decisions. In actual fact, whether we're Labour or Conservative, I think what we have done as an investment board, we've worked for the benefit of the region, which of course was the benefit of joining the Combined Authority. And I sincerely hope that people will see the success that every participant on here today has had an input in the success. It's not one person, it is everybody who puts their little bit in. And so well done, you, Bob.
Thanks for that, sir. Mike, it's appreciated. Notification of substitutes, Carl?
None received, Chair.
None received. We therefore move to declarations of interest in the usual manner. You can declare now, or you can declare if a report comes up and you think you should. I've got Karen Grinsell. I'll take first, Karen.
Thank you, Bob. Yes, just declare an interest in item 11. Obviously, that relates to Solihull MBC.
Thank you. I've got Tristram Chatfield. Councillor Chatfield.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Just on the same item, number 11, as the director of the airport, a non-pecuniary interest on that report as well.
Thank you. Councillor Steve Simpkins, please.
Yeah, through the report, it references Pipe Hall, which is in my ward, so I'll declare that interest non-pecuniary.
Thanks for that. I'll also declare as a appointed director by Solihull Council for the UGC, which relates to the Urban Growth Company APM paper. But it's non-pecuniary, and I don't believe there's any conflicting interests. We decided last time, so that's my declaration as well. Councillor Bird.
Likewise, the non-pecuniary interest of the director of Birmingham Airport.
Thank you. We therefore move on. You've previously received the minutes of the last meeting. I have no items to report back. I'm taking them for accuracy. Is everyone content that we support the minutes as printed? I see no dissent, so that's fine. We have a number of items of business there for noting. The investment programme update and dashboard. Either Ian or Linda, who's going to give this, present this?
Very happy to, Chair. So we have funding commitments to the end of February at 834.9 million. That's previously reported as 795.3 million, so it's up 39.6. This is from the confirmed income streams which support an affordable limit of 871 million. As the report states, there are new approvals in March at the CA board for WMCA Electric Bus Town, the 5 million allocation to 2041 environmental initiatives. There was revenue budget risk allocation, Perry Bar Station and bus interchange, and an element put aside for risk against 5 new railway stations. All of that is detailed both in the CA report and in this report that's gone to board. Costs incurred and drawings to the end of February were 276.6 million. So that's up 11.3 million. The continued slight acceleration of drawdowns, as is to be expected as projects advance. And as will be noted by the board, at March 2021 WMCA board, that affordable limit was increased to 871 million following a review of the future interest rates. So we currently have an unallocated sum equating to £15.5 million within the affordable limit on the investment programme. As noted last time also, the expectation is that projects that would be eligible to receive that 15.5 million are directed towards regional recovery, and the suggestion was that those should go through the Regional Recovery Forum for approval as to their status and eligibility prior to be considered through our assurance process. And eventually ending up here at Investment Board. As should be noted, the SQW report was well received, as the Chair mentioned at the start of this board. Whilst we believe we have passed the Gateway Review, I think we haven't got the money in the bank yet, Linda, have we? No, she's shaking her head. So no, but we are expecting it any day and haven't been alerted of any issues. I'll move on to the dashboard when you're ready.
Yeah, I've got Councillor Jim O'Boyle's hand up. So, Jim, you want to make a point?
Thank you, Bob. It was just a question, really, in relation to the West Midlands, the 2041 zero carbon, the 5 million. Do we have any idea as to what those proposals are yet and how they will impact across the region? Because it's a relatively small amount of money, and I'm just intrigued to understand sort of what the thinking is behind that.
Good point. I'll put it on to Lynn. Do you want to answer that? Thanks.
Yeah. So it was Councillor O'Boyle. It was linked to, there was a report to the CA board in March at the same time this report went, that was specifically on the WM 2041 proposal, and within that report it set out what the 5 million would be spent on and how it then impacted and related to the wider context of the wider longer term delivery for WM 2041. So certainly we can, and Carl can take this as an action, I suppose, to reshare that report round, because the full details are in that report that went to the CA board.
Okay.
Jim, you okay with that?
Yeah, no, thank you. I'll look at that.
Perhaps I could add, Chair, that the detail will go through our assurance process. So the projects, as they're fully developed out, will pass through an assurance process at the CA.
And that's an important point. So although the money has been assigned to deliver the priorities over the first 5 years, it's recognised it's a much bigger issue, and therefore a large number of both private sector and public sector funding will actually deliver the wider programme. But this first 5 million in essence sets it on its train, but it will go through the assurance framework. It's not just simply there's £5 million, so it will go back through the process within the combined authority to see where it's being assigned. I hope that helps. Yeah, so do you want to take the dashboard then, please, Ian? Thank you.
Sure. So we have 75 projects recorded as being approved for funding. Within those, as I've mentioned, each time there's various sub-projects, so you could split it out to actually being many more in reality. But those what passed for approval. On red status, that they're on completion dates only with no financial implications as far as we're aware at the current time. There's 8 schemes there where we're expecting extension of time requests to come through. There's no major issues that we can see with those, and all of those are detailed within the dashboard.
Any questions for Ian with regard to the dashboard? It's fairly self-explanatory in the report. I've got no indications, so we are just noting those items. I'm therefore going to move on to the 3 fund dashboards. I've got Nick Oakley, I believe, Collective Investment Fund, Brownfield Land and Property Investment Fund, and the Revolving Investment Fund. Nick, are there any issues you wish to highlight to us?
Morning, Chair. No, these are the public dashboards, so I will provide an update under the private session on the private sector, on the private dashboards.
Questions to Nick at this stage? No. Okay, we therefore move to exclusion of the press and public. I pass the following resolution in accordance with section 100A4 of the Local Governments Act 1972. The press and the public be excluded from the meeting during the consideration of the following items of business as they involve the likely disclosure of exempt information related to the business affairs of any particular person, including the authority